To me, it's just hatred towards this young lady. Only thing she's doing, like you said, is out here. She's playing the game of basketball, and she's having fun doing it.
I love her game. A lot like Steph. She reminds me of Steph Curry a lot. You know,
anybody that does something flagrant to this young lady for what she's brought to the game should be suspended and fined big time.
Instead of just joining the league, what happens if one individual completely controls it? The excitement around Caitlin Clark is more complicated than it first appears. It's a total takeover. Her electrifying skills and reckless style of play have captivated fans, analysts, and even the game's greatest legends. She is the first WNBA player to inspire this level of admiration and conversation among NBA superstars, the same oldies who set the standard for brilliance. The fact that they are now talking about Caitlin's impact shows how important she has become. With her unmatched ability on the court and record-breaking achievements, she is not just playing but also changing the game and inspiring the next generation of athletes. Things start to become intriguing at this point. However, not everyone is celebrating her rise. She has been questioned, criticized, and even the target of attempts to discredit her. Two legends have taken over precisely because of this. Michael Jordan and Larry Bird have had enough, and what they have to say might drastically alter the narrative. Stay tuned for their version of Caitlin Clark's journey. You won't want to miss it. To truly understand this period, we now need to look at another legend, Allen Iverson. He was one of the biggest stars of his era and had a significant influence on basketball culture, much like Caitlin Clark does now. Both were already well known in college. Before entering the professional ranks, they both had great expectations, which they both fulfilled. They weren't the most physically dominant players as compared to other top prospects, but their extraordinary talent and self-assurance more than made up for it. Iverson was the greatest idol for a generation. After his powerful crossover shocked opponents and altered the game, it took years for the league to adjust. Today's young girls are looking at Caitlin Clark in the same manner and trying to play like her by copying her actions. Iverson acknowledges the same trait, and in a recent interview, he explained why Caitlin is such a game changer by breaking down her skill set and mentality.
And shoot the blood out of the ball. You know what I mean? I never seen anything like it. You know what I mean? And then just how aggressive she is, you know, and not just scoring in basketball, getting her teammates involved as well. I think she's so great for the game. You know what I mean? It was a pleasure watching her, and I just think down the road, she's going to own it.
It's not surprised that Allen Iverson chooses to praise Caitlin Clark as he immediately recognizes her as a potent attacking force, the same role he played in his heyday. They were given the responsibility of leading their clubs offensively as soon as they joined the league. In such a job, Iverson stressed the need of assertiveness. But what really distinguishes mediocre players from all-time greats is their exceptional playmaking, and Caitlin Clark is a master at it. Despite being one of the team's least experienced members, she is immediately helping everyone around her. These players are known as floor raisers. They enhance their teammates just by being there, being serious, and giving their all to the game. Iverson proved this by winning games and guiding a team with limited offensive prowess to the NBA Finals. The real question today is what Caitlin Clark will become at her finest. Iverson believes she will only become better, and she will surely continue to learn how to make her team even better. But for that to happen, the Indiana Fever need to surround her with the proper players, much like any great team. Iverson was not just successful but also entertaining. Fans went to stadiums to see his amazing highlights, which is another similarity between him and Caitlin Clark. These players make every ticket worthwhile. But that focus is followed by pressure. Iverson faced harsh criticism from the media during his career. Conversely, Caitlin Clark has adopted a strategy. She is extremely calm and media-savvy for her age. In every interview, she says the right things and steers clear of unnecessary controversy. Charles Barkley, another NBA star, has also noticed it. Barkley is the best person to understand how difficult it is to combine performance and public perception.
What I love about her, she never says a word. And now, when I watch her, Two things I like. She's playing much faster, much faster. She was playing too slow the first half of the season.
From the college season.
They didn't even give her the understanding, like, you girls been worded for the WNBA season. Y'all been working out on the nose.
Caitlin Clark's accomplishments go well beyond her point total. Her success in every aspect of the game, both on and off the court, is largely due to her mentality and strong work ethic. When she joined the league, organizations and fans put a lot of pressure on her, but she exceeded all expectations. By receiving punches from opponents and participating in physically demanding activities, she has shown that she is more tough than many had predicted. What truly stands out, though, is her continued improvement. Over the season, she has improved and quickly learned how to surpass her WNBA opponents. And that's not easy, considering how different collegiate and professional basketball are. The majority of people don't realize how fast-paced, physically taxing, and demanding the WNBA is. Caitlin faces an even greater difficulty because competing teams are specifically targeting her. It is clear that she has prepared extensively, which is the best way to handle things. This part of her game surprised a lot of observers, who initially believed she was just a gifted player without remarkable physical qualities. Domination, however, can manifest itself in a variety of ways. Even Shaquille O'Neal, who is often considered the greatest player of all time, recognizes excellence in a number of ways. He has openly said that Stephen Curry is his current favorite player despite having relatively different physique. Shaq thinks Caitlin Clark is equally exceptional. He even praised her on Angel Reese's podcast, comparing her impact to Steph Curry's and explaining how both athletes infused their respective leagues with a newfound zeal.
Why do you think people love Caitlin Clark besides her skills?
She can shoot threes from logo.
We never seen that before. That's my point. Steph Curry, a little kid. Like Steph Curry, I love, you know why I love Steph Curry? Because I've never seen that before. I've never seen that before. I've seen it a little bit in Mahmoud Abdul-Roh, but I've never seen a guy consistently come down. And if you look at, like if you saw Steph on the street, he ain't got the LeBron muscles. He's not 6'9", he's 6'10". He look like a perfect, normally office guy.
Yeah.
But he's doing stuff that people never seen before. She's doing stuff we've never seen before. Never seen nobody do that on a consistent.
The clear realization that Caitlin Clark is doing things that no other WNBA player has ever done was one of the most important lessons learned from that conversation. Angel Reese agreed. Her response, however, failed to give Caitlin the credit she deserved and limited her brilliance to simply making deep threes from the logo. You can't just do that, let's be honest. Acquiring that really difficult ability requires years of effort, confidence, and accuracy. Because it is exceptional rather than just ostentatious, fans are drawn to it. Shaquille O'Neal is more aware of this than anyone else, and he made it clear that it is this unique ability that is drawing new fans to WNBA venues. His comments, meanwhile, appear to be a subtle jab at Angel Reese, who has openly said that Caitlin Clark isn't the only reason for the league's growing popularity. But there is a noticeable difference, especially in terms of Reese's poor long-range shooting ability. Shaq's stance was clear. Thanks to Caitlin Clark, the league is getting a lot of attention. Then came the moment that really turned things around. Michael Jordan finally spoke up, and he didn't hold back. He believes that the WNBA owes Caitlin Clark a great deal for her contributions to the game. But he didn't stop there. He also questioned the officiating, saying that the league has to make amends because she has been treated unfairly by the officials. It makes a powerful message. When the greatest player of all time says something like that, people pay heed. His comments made it quite clear that Caitlin Clark is a true game-changer whose impact should no longer be ignored. At the same time, the league's growing popularity has been greatly influenced by her rivalry with Angel Reese. History seems to be repeating itself. In the 1970s, the NBA had trouble attracting enough viewers for live broadcasts. But when two players from opposite eras, Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, entered the scene as competitors, everything changed. Their epic NCAA championship matchup not only broke records but also sparked a massive increase in interest in basketball. Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark are currently experiencing a similar period in women's basketball.
Popular WNBA player, but she's not the best at this time. Just like Larry and I were not the best when we entered the league. We became the best later on by our play. Caitlin still has to play great to become the best WNBA.
This rivalry is a major factor in the WNBA's present growth, and it is becoming more difficult to ignore the comparisons to Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. At the time, the NBA was struggling to gather momentum, but their rivalry changed everything by raising the level of competitiveness, excitement, and interest in the league. It seems like history is repeating itself at the moment. One of the main reasons the NCAA Women's Tournament broke viewing records was the intense rivalry between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. When both players entered the WNBA at the same time, that momentum persisted and resulted in a surge of new fans and media attention. The similarity has become so strong that Magic Johnson himself has recognized it. He agrees, surprisingly. He also made an important remark, even if he thinks Caitlin Clark has the same potential. Being the most popular player does not mean that you are the best. He emphasized that neither he nor Larry Bird were the best players when they first joined the NBA. They become the best by consistent performance throughout time. Caitlin Clark still has that route ahead of her. Magic Johnson, the owner of the Los Angeles Sparks and a longtime supporter of the WNBA, has always believed the league will grow into a major sports business. That vision is starting to come to pass. He saw a strong connection between the WNBA's rise and the rivalry between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, comparing it to his own disputes with Larry Bird. If things continue in this way, the league may see the same degree of cultural and economic growth that the NBA experienced in the 1980s. Moreover, popularity is not the sole consideration. It also relates to how the game is played. Teams and young athletes are already being impacted by Caitlin Clark's extraordinary potential. Basketball was completely transformed by the unique approaches of Magic and Bird. When Magic entered the NBA, his basketball IQ and vision revolutionized offenses and raised the standard for point guards. And Caitlin Clark may do the same in the WNBA.
Things that I learned coming from one rookie of the year to another, even though mine was 19 years ago. One of the biggest things after winning Rookie of the Year, because that's a big deal, first of all. That's a huge achievement and you should be proud. But going forward, I think the biggest thing I tried to focus on was getting stronger. I wanted to get stronger, I wanted to get faster, I wanted to be better on defense. But more than anything, I tell you, the biggest people that I leaned on was my family.
When talking about the ideal point guard, a player who comprehends defenses, controls the game, and enhances everyone, Chris Paul is often brought up. He is considered the perfect specimen of a classic point guard due to his remarkable playmaking skills and scoring ability. In a number of ways that seem much above her experience, Caitlin Clark is exhibiting the same kind of power on the court. She is creating openings, breaking down defenses, and managing the flow of the game. Chris Paul even drew a metaphorical parallel between Caitlin Clark's Rookie of the Year season and his own early career.